The chair of the Civilian Complaint Review Board has resigned, plus tips for seasonal depression in the cold winter months, and what Bronx Science students think of Mayor-elect Mamdani's win. From WNYC, this is NYC Now. I'm Elizabeth Shui. The interim chair of the Civilian Complaint Review Board has resigned. The board, which acts as NYPD's watchdog, says Dr. Mohammed Khalid submitted his resignation on Friday. Khalid first served on the CCRB from 2005 until 2015, then took over as the board's interim chair in December last year. His resignation follows a month of pressure from the city's police union, which has repeatedly criticized both him and the board on social media. The board says Khalid led by example as chair and, quote, let objectivity and impartiality guide his decision-making. A New York City Councilmember is speaking up about EBT card scams affecting residents in her district. Councilmember Sandra Ng represents parts of Queens. She says a large number of her constituents have fallen for these so-called skimming scams. A device on ATMs and payment machines grabs data from food assistant payment cards and drains residents' food and cash assistance.
It is very small, obviously, to a point where if you're not really looking for it or not feeling for it, you're probably not going to see it. You're just buying food. You're not thinking like that.
Ng says these scams are especially harmful for older New Yorkers who might struggle to navigate the technology that could protect them from scams. A recent report from the New York City Department of Investigation says New Yorkers have been reimbursed almost $50 million since August of 2023 because of money stolen in EBT scams. Coming up, as the sun goes down earlier, seasonal depression is on the rise. Tips for the cold season after the break. It's been getting darker earlier and earlier since daylight saving time ended 2 weeks ago. As the season gets colder and darker, some New Yorkers deal with seasonal affective disorder, also known as seasonal depression.
It's a disorder in which you experience depressive symptoms at certain seasons and times of the year, typically in the colder winter months when there's less sunlight.
Dr. Molly Sherb is a clinical psychologist at Mount Sinai. She says that while seasonal depression flares up everywhere it gets cold and dark, there are specific environmental factors that make the season tougher on New Yorkers.
Not being able to control space, not being able to control noise, and also being surrounded by so many huge buildings that also block sunlight more than if you lived in some type of rural or suburban area where there's just a lot of open space. A lot of people in New York City also work long hours in an office, which again is true for other parts of the country, but it's certainly true in New York City. And by the time we get out of work, it's already pitch black outside.
For New Yorkers spending most of their days in the office, Dr. Sherb advises to sit by a window, talk to coworkers, and walk around when you can. She also says seasonal depression may be easy to confuse with exhaustion, but the difference is how you feel about the future.
When you're having trouble looking towards the future, having trouble feeling hopeful about the future, having trouble finding things that still bring you pleasure.
It can be hard to find moments of joy in times like that. Dr. Sherb says if you can, go outside, even if it's just for 5 minutes, and yes, even if it's really cold.
Sometimes just that jolt of cold, fresh air can also sort of reset you.
Some more tips: when you wake up in the morning, open up all your blinds.
Try to just expose yourself to as much light as possible because our bodies operate off light and dark.
And try to find open space. That can be challenging in New York City, but if you can be by the water or spend time in a park, your body will appreciate it. Dr. Sherb recommends the 988 Lifeline number to anyone who needs to talk at any time of the day. She also says to go easy on yourself this holiday season.
Figuring out and asking yourself, knowing that this time of year is hard for me, what do I need? Is it social support? Is it distraction? Is it people that hold me accountable to get outside and do things?
The holidays are full of expectations of cheer and family fun, and how you're feeling may not match that message.
And so rather than this time of year ask what's wrong with me, Ask yourself, what do I need to get through this?
That's Dr. Molly Sherb, a clinical psychologist at Mount Sinai. The Bronx High School of Science is buzzing with news that alum Zoran Mamdani will be the next mayor. Mamdani electrified young voters with his energy and ambitious policy goals.
Expectations will be high. We will meet them.
But even fans at his alma mater are worried the mayor-elect won't be able to deliver on his campaign promises. WNYC's Jessica Gould reports.
At Bronx Science, senior Zanab Ahmed says Zoran Mamdani's win is a hot topic.
In lots of my classes, people were talking about the hope that he brings now and how exciting it is.
She mentions Mamdani's youth, immigrant background, and Muslim faith. Many students say, for the first time, they see themselves reflected in city leadership. Sophomore Leo Rempe says the election is motivating the school's already driven kids to work even harder.
Seeing someone actively achieve that who's so close to a community I know and love just really inspires and encourages me to do my best.
But many of the high schoolers say they have doubts about whether Mamdani will be able to achieve his goals in office.
Well, to be honest, I'm a bit skeptical.
That's senior Bobby Dumboya. He says politicians can let you down, even in student government.
Maybe about 2 years ago now, someone running for SO president promised to add dividers to all the bathrooms, urinals, and this has not come to fruition. Also adding like double-threaded toilet paper, that hasn't happened. So many of these things they have promised, as soon as they get elected, they don't really do much.
Junior Maddox Cologne says it's not always the students' fault if they fail to deliver on campaign promises. Some things are out of their reach.
I wouldn't call it sinister, but it's just like a lot of students campaign for issues that they know they'll never be able to fulfill. Like at least every year there's someone campaigning for, oh, we'll put a tub of sports equipment in the courtyard, or we'll make it where you could play basketball in the gym during free periods or after school.
Mamdani was in the class of 2010. When he ran for student government, he promised fresh squeezed juice for all from locally sourced fruit. In retrospect, he told the New York Times, that was simply impossible. But these kids raise similar concerns about his mayoral platform. Here's Dumbuya.
You can offer free things to people, and that's good. People want free things, but the problem comes to actually implementing them.
Mamdani wants to tax the rich to pay for universal childcare and make buses fast and free. But those things require approval by state lawmakers, the governor, and the MTA. Senior Kierhorn is 18, and he says he went back and forth before casting the first vote of his adult life. He ultimately chose Mamdani because he says Bronx Science kids are strategic.
I'm someone who's cautiously optimistic that he's going to surround himself with good people.
And he's optimistic about those better bathrooms, too.
We have urinals, but we don't have urinal dividers. You know, it hasn't happened yet, but I think one day it will.
Like Mamdani says, it's about believing the impossible can be possible.
That's WNYC's education reporter Jessica Gould. Thanks for listening to NYC Now from WNYC. I'm Elizabeth Shui. We'll be back tomorrow morning.